Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence, the 17th, and I want to talk to you about something that I think is one of the most important issues we face as a planet these days. We face a lot of really important issues, don't get me wrong, but this one in particular holds a lot of meaning for more than 70% of my client base. I just did a little internal data jiggering around and found out that 70% of my clients are women. 70%. I had no idea. And one of the things that I've noticed is something that has now been borne out by a worldwide study and a report by a division of the United Nations called the International Telecommunications Union. And that is, I've observed over the time that I've been teaching voiceover, that I've been mentoring clients and students in both on-camera acting and in voiceover. And it turns out in tech and productivity, it just was very obvious to me very early on that there is this digital literacy gender gap, that more women than men struggle with technology and sometimes tend to just give up. You know, they'd rather wear the badge of I'm digitally illiterate and try to wear it proudly. Oh, I just, me and tech, we just don't get along. Than do men. I think for men, it's kind of an embarrassing thing if they're not really into tech. But for women, it's the kind of thing that can be really debilitating. And it also can be something that's an enabler. But the real big problem here is that if you choose or find yourself in a position to be digitally illiterate, struggling with technology, you are at a distinct disadvantage in terms of success when it comes to what we do for a living. Performance these days, and it's been this way for at least a decade or two, relies not only in knowing the art of what we do, how to do on-camera work, how to do on-mic work, the joy of the acting of it, but also two other things. And these are the three things that we teach in VO to Go-Go and in my other courses. And that is running your business, so having a sense of business. I don't sense that women really struggle when it comes to a sense of business any more or any less than men do. But the third piece is the science, and that is the technology of what people do and do well to succeed as performers. In the old days, you don't have to go online to get auditions. Your agent would send you information about auditions, or you'd find out via the magazine or the newspaper, backstage that we had. But today, it's almost impossible for you to pursue a career in our business without being adept at technology and pursue that well. And I want to do something about that. And I want to start with education. I do everything I can in the classes that I teach, whether it's VO to Go-Go or with rehearsal, which is a piece of technology, or the ACX Masterclass, or the upcoming podcasting class package that I'm putting together, or with the Camera Ready U package that I'm designing. I just can't imagine ignoring the idea of becoming comfortable with and then adept at technology. And I know it's really scary. I know it can be scary if you don't understand it. There's a lot of dangers, there's hackers and there's identity theft and all that sort of thing. And if I make a mistake, I'm going to break the computer. I get that. But what I'd like you to do is start with this idea that it can be taken care of. And a case in point is a really dear friend of mine, Herman, who is older. I don't know if Carol's in her 70s or 80s, but she is certainly older than I am. And she's now kicking butt on her Mac. And with, I think she's done over 20 audiobooks all by herself. She didn't farm out the technology. And I always point to her as an example of somebody who really decided they weren't going to let this define them, this challenge of digital literacy. She was going to go get help. And she got a lot of help from me. She got help from people like one of my other clients, Brian, who helped her out a lot, Brian Smith. Don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, if you're one of my pros, you know there's a whole track in what we teach dedicated to the technology and the labs area and all that stuff. But I'd like you to familiarize yourself with just how big of a problem this is. I've got a link in the blog post at votogogo.com where this video lives. You could be watching it on YouTube or someplace else, but if you go to votogogo.com and look for this particular episode, you'll find there's a link there for a report and the results of action being taken by the ITU to help close this digital literacy gender gap. And I want to do anything I can to help close this. I want to know what struggles you have. I want to know what challenges you. I want to know what makes you afraid of technology or what makes you uncomfortable with it and what you are doing about it, if anything, or if you've just thrown your hands up and said, yep, I'm going to wear that badge of digital illiteracy. I hope not, because without understanding how deeply technology affects what we do, it's adding to the burden that's already huge of success in our business. So check out the link. It's they've already helped over 1 million women around the world gain the knowledge that they need just to be digitally literate. We're not talking about coding here. We're not talking about building websites. We're talking about the ability to use the internet to function in today's world and to use your computer and to use your mobile devices and so on. That's like a first, second, and third step that can go a long way towards making you happy and satisfied and successful and profitable, right? So go check out that report and see what they say you can do. And if you are someone who isn't challenged by technology, I urge you to help anyone, whether it's a man or a woman, but especially women, to help them get up to speed. We are about 30 or 40 years into the digital revolution. And in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot, but it's enough that we should not be questioning whether or not we need to be literate when it comes to the digital nature of our world. If not for success, if not for what you're doing as a performer, just your own safety. You know, you can't help but use cards that have chips in them and mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. And if you don't understand how to stay safe, that can be a real problem. Then knowing how to use things to be successful can be that second layer. The point is, I want to help. And so in the comments below, let me know what challenges you, if anything. Let me know what makes you happy. Let me know what makes you scared. Tell me what I can do, what we can do, what you need to get this done. And know that those of you that are pros, you have the Vo2Go Pro Connect space on Facebook, private space for my pros to share things like this, to share their challenges. And most of you do. But if you're not taking advantage of that now, please do so. Please do so. And let me know your thoughts on what I've said here today. If you'd like to join my YouTube channel, go ahead and click on my head there. If there's no head, then there's a subscribe button somewhere here. And if you'd like to see the latest video that I've put out, if you're seeing these out of order, go ahead and click on that frame there, and YouTube will play it for you. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I so appreciate you watching these videos. And I will talk to you tomorrow.